Hey, it's been a while since we've visited my very favorite Facebook group, which is Winehammer Community, where they make fun of the people whining about 40K and Age of Sigmar. So let's see what we got here. It's a fresh batch. We haven't looked at it for a while. Here's a post. Some non-males playing 40K at FLGS. I glanced at them, called me a creep. I'm banned, and they wonder why gatekeeping is a thing. Okay, I will take things that absolutely did not happen for 400, Alex. Some non-males. What the hell? Who refers to women as non-males? Some non-males. This is so off base. I almost feel like I feel like it's parody. I feel like it's satire. Because and he glanced at them and they called him a creep and he's banned. I mean, something tells me that if any of this is true, he glanced at them with this thing in his hand, and then maybe that's why he's banned. All right, here's another one. So, like 90% of my job is being a Microsoft Office jockey, and I'm looking at the codexes and I just realized that the fancy manuscript print is literally in literally every codex is just a stock word font, and frankly, I'm upset now. Like, what do you expect GW just make new fonts? I mean, and if they did, okay, but you would expect them to make new fonts? That's just people, man, this is an example. I say this all the time. As modern humans, we don't have enough to worry about, apparently, if these type of things make us upset. If this guy, he must live in such a safe and welcoming environment that the font in a codex, being that it was from Word, really bothers him. I can't relate to these people. All right, this next one's actually in relation to a Song of Ice and Fire, and it came apparently from another group. Someone wrote, "Those of us who migrated from Warhammer Fantasy know to be thankful for Cool Mini or Not's policy for hot fixing and rebalancing. In Warhammer, we were given a new edition, new army book, and then it was had to wait for 3 to 4 years. All sales driven with no concern for balance. They openly admitted to never listening to gamers or doing player-based market research, and they even kept radio silence on their intent to disband the game." Even conning more cash from players with the whole end times ruse. Thanks, Cool Mini or Not, for showing concern for gamers and caring about the community. Hold up. Just hold up. Okay, Cool Mini or Not. You are, and now admittedly not everything this guy is saying is wrong. I mean, yeah, Warhammer was kind of like that, and they did admittedly not listen to the players. They admittedly were like, "Oh, we're a miniatures company, not a game company." And they would just make their games and then not FAQ it and all that. So, what he's saying is not entirely wrong, but he's going to put Cool Mini or Not up on a pedestal for tweaking or rebalancing Song of Ice and Fire. Okay, maybe Cool Mini or Not actually supports that one game, but if you know anything about Cool Mini or Not, they are a Kickstarter machine, and they make all their money through Kickstarter. And they have kickstarted, I mean, dozens upon dozens of games now, high quality, well made games, and then they never support them ever again. That's the whole thing. Like games like Hate comes to mind immediately, but many other games Cool Mini or Not has made. And what was the one? Oh man, whatever. The point is you're actually going to say Cool Mini or Not is awesome and they love their customers and all of that. But meanwhile, all they do is use Kickstarter. They're a giant company, by the way. They don't have to use Kickstarter. They use Kickstarter the whole time, so they get their money up front, which is not a terrible idea, but it's kind of in bad taste if you're already a giant company. Then they make all these games, and many of them are meant to be expanded like Hate, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, f that. No, we're moving on to the next thing that we can make lots of money off of." Like they typically the common practice for Cool Mini or Not is to not support their games. So it's hilarious to me that maybe they chose the Song of Ice and Fire, okay, but for you to be like, "Oh yeah, see, they're so much better." Come on, dude, that is not accurate in the least. If you ask 90% of the people that play their other games. All right, I think this next one is way off base. So you know the new Commissar model, right? It's the guy with the power sword, and I mean, he looks, actually, I think I may have covered him in a Want That or Want That Not. He's like your typical Commissar. He's got a plasma pistol, he's got a power sword, he's got the peaked hat, he's got the trench coat, he's got all of that. Someone replied, "I didn't used to think this, but this IP needs to end. This is disgraceful." Okay. Oh, there is a comment on this picture. It says single models used to be $15. WTF happened? I don't know if this person was in cryo sleep or not, like for the last 20 years, but single models have not been $15 for at least 10 years, if not more. When they used to be in little clam packs. So where this guy's like Encino Man. He just showed up and he's like, "Oh my god, things are different. I'm angry." Because at first I thought he was talking about the sculpt, and I'm like, "What do you mean the sculpt? Like the sculpt looks fine. It's not entirely daring, but it's a totally fine sculpt, and it looks exactly what you'd expect it to look. It's got some extra detail, etc." So I'm like, "What?" But I missed the single models used to be $15. What the f happened? So what do you where are you from? Like maybe he did get out in fourth edition, and now he's coming back, and now he's like, "Oh my god, sticker shock." But it's just that seems this IP needs to end. It just I don't know, man. These people. Let's do one last one. Let's do one last one. This one is in regards to the old world coming up. Question: as a veteran who lived through the times when oh god, as a veteran who lived through the times when GW shat on the community and killed Warhammer Fantasy, I won't buy any miniatures from GW, even if the old world ends up being a good game worth playing. And I have doubts about that. Are there other people in similar positions, and if so, have you already checked alternative miniatures and 3D printing possibilities? Now hold up. Okay, number one, calling yourself a veteran. I would never, ever call myself a veteran of Warhammer. Not in a million years. I feel like veterans should be designated to actual military veterans. I'm not sure if police veterans or other services call veterans, but definitely military veteran. You can never call yourself a veteran unless you've actually earned the title veteran. Maybe they don't mean it that way, but that comes off to me as like, I don't know. I just don't like that at all. I think that's really, really like stolen valor, but in the geekiest way. As a veteran who lived through all those bad times when GW crapped on the world, etc., I'm going to 3D print my models, is essentially what this guy is saying. And if he's such a veteran, he should know that Warhammer Fantasy was canceled because of low sales. Correct? I think it's a well-known thing. Even Alan Merritt said it in my interview. Okay, so if GW is canceling games when they underperform, how should you support a game like that? Maybe financially, maybe you buy the models or you buy the books or you buy whatever you can afford to support the game if you do like the game. This guy's immediately whining that they screwed Warhammer Fantasy Battle, so now he's going to make sure that he sabotages the new game as well to the best of his ability. Like it doesn't make any sense. He's complaining that they canceled a game that was underperforming, so he's gonna do his part in helping it underperform when it comes out. I'm like, you all just stupid. You're just stupid.